Stugotz, I don't want to knee-jerk. I don't want to overreact.
Why?
I don't want to be prisoner of the moment. But that's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
God, please jerk my knee as long as you want. Please, jerk my knee all morning.
I was talking about Browns Jets.
Oh, it was a great one. Joe Flacco. I mean, we have a quarterback.
I thought you were talking about Cardinals Raiders.
How ridiculous is Kyler Murray? It's a cartoon character.
I saw that between the Ravens, the Browns, and the Raiders, that they were both over, all three of them were over 97% win probability. That the Jets were at the Jets were at 0.1%. I think the Dolphins were at 0.1%, incredibly.
In all seriousness, that is the most improbable Dolphin victory of my entire lifetime. I don't even know what I'd compare it to, whether it's Leon Lett in the Thanksgiving Day game, on a blocked field goal, screwing it up, whether it's one of those double-digit underdogs against the Patriots victories or the Wildcat. I think they had a bad Dolphin team that beat a champion Patriots team down here when they were a double-digit dog. But when you look at the stats off this game, Stugotz, Tua had the fourth most passing yards in Dolphins history.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, first pair of teammates in NFL history to have 10 receptions, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the same game. It's never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins and every other team in the sport loses that game every time for the last 10 years when you're down 21 plus in the fourth quarter. And what you got is the stunning surprise, haven't seen it this century, a Dolphin receiver running beyond the secondary. Tell me I'm wrong about this. I don't know what the Ravens were doing. I don't know how they didn't understand.
Not playing good defense, I can tell you that much.
They were throwing to Waddle when they were doubling Hill, but I just don't understand how he gets left.
Where's that safety on that final bomb to Tyreek? Where is he?
Yeah,
the replay shows the corner does the thing where he lets him go. It's zone. All right, he's good. I got help.
Letting him fall to the safety.
But is it the corner's fault, though?
Well, it could have just been maybe it was supposed to be man and the corner was wrong. Whatever it was, the safety wasn't there.
Right, because the corner, the closest safety is on the other side of the field. I think the safety that was on that side of the field had come to the line of scrimmage to show blitz. How is that wrong? And
take me back.
People want a pound of flesh today from the two of us, Dan, because we were wrong about Tua.
No, you should apologize. Yes,
the two of us were wrong.
Right, well done, Chris.
I'll say a couple things. One, this is one really good game, and it was awesome. I'm not going to be Stugotz guy and say do it again, but
no. You back off for a second, okay?
Seriously,
hold
on
a second.
6 touchdown passes.
Let's not.
You were down 21 on the road, man.
And they made it look easy.
Let's not turn the most improbable Dolphin victory of my lifetime into immediately what Whittingham thinks. There will be plenty of time and plenty of years for people to ravage us for our Tua takes. I don't want to do that today. I want, we could sit here and say that's not sustainable, of course. I mean, for 3 quarters yesterday, you guys were sitting there saying, well, the Dolphins haven't looked all that special for 7 quarters this season. You were embarrassed by their defense, and you got Lamar Jackson running for 80 yards by himself on a terrible defensive day.
It was amazing that a quarterback had 420 total yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers, and lost the game. That's how good Tua was.
You beat Lamar Jackson at his best, okay? I did not think they could do that. They beat Lamar Jackson at the height of his powers. He had a perfect passer rating, and they beat that. But let's just go back to the top of the quarter. And Kevin Harland on the call, God bless him.
He's great.
He was amazing yesterday.
Always is.
I mean, he really did give the game a lot of life. It's been Chris Myers and, 6th broadcast team for 2 decades down here. It was such a pleasure to hear on the call. No slight on anybody else.
It seems like a slight to Chris Myers. It does.
Top of Chaminade's own, Chris Myers, proud alum.
He was the voice of the Dolphins for many years.
He got stuck down here. Was he? I mean,
it felt that way.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It did
Yeah.
nationally because they've been a regional team. But I don't think the spin move to River K-Craft is where we were going to start on a comeback. First play of the game, you're like, same old Dolphins, kickoff, return for a touchdown. Then they go 11-minute drive, 19 plays, replay. It should have been down 14-0. Replay, bails them out. You don't remember any of it. The whole game's gone. All that matters is the fourth quarter. Everything that happened before that, irrelevant.
That was the game.
And they're the story of the sport today, are they not? He is. He now leads Tua, leads the league in passing, leads the league in touchdown passes after 2 games.
Yeah.
4th best passing performance. It's only Marino, and Tua.
It's him and Joe Flacco. Those are the big stories.
And the Cardinals. It's the three late finishes, I think.
But I couldn't
together.
believe what I was watching, where the Jets and the Dolphins were the teams making all the plays. They were the featured team during the witching hour. I could not believe it.
The good thing is one of them is sustainable.
The Jets.
No.
The thing, and you're so right, Dan, in terms of being the most incomprehensible Dolphins win, in a variety of ways, right? You have, the Dolphins down 3 touchdowns on the road. That's an L every time. You look at the way that they go about it. They had, in 3 different moments, I went back and rewatched the game, 2nd and 23, 2nd and 18,
Look at me, Louis.
and 3rd and 13, and they converted them easily. Each and every time.
Chris Cote, you're accusing Chris Whittingham of "Look at me, Louie." For
when
saying
you drop
he
it, I went back and watched the game. I rewatched the tape. Did you get the all 22?
You rewatched the game. What was the point of offering that as a nugget?
Because it allowed me to have a context for these big 3rd and 4th down conversions.
It's something he has to say in Witty's defense. He does have to say.
To be fair,
he has to state it on the front end.
To be fair, I didn't actually watch the game. Because I was working yesterday.
So you just watched it.
Oh, so it wasn't a rewatch. It was just a watch.
It was your first watch.
So you saying I actually watched the game.
So not only was it a boast, but also a lie. Also a lie.
I was going to source them. Good thing I did.
A little bit of Stugotz in everyone.
I watched the last 6 minutes because I kept getting texts. And normally I put my phone, when I'm doing a game, I was doing Inter Miami yesterday. When I'm doing a game, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And yet for some reason, I would open it up every 15 minutes. I was like, wait a second, it's a touchdown game now? What the hell?
Do you know how long it has been since the Dolphins have felt like this to anybody in this town?
Look, what I'm about to say is sad. Yesterday was the best Dolphins game
Ever.
of my life.
Ever, I'd say. Yeah.
Do the math on that. It was fucking epic. I felt 3 hours after that game the way I felt 3 hours after a Heat championship. I wasn't sitting. I felt like I had just done cocaine.
You were stunned.
I was I was wired.
Right.
I was like, it was time to eat at my dad's house, and I was like, I'm standing during dinner. I'm just standing. I can't sit yet. It was so exciting because we have a playmaker and we have a good offensive scheme. Look,
we have 2.
Look, we don't even need to talk about Tua. We can do that show another day. We have a good scheme, and we have 2 playmakers. Dolphins, look at me. Hey, look at me. Woody.
Yeah, I'm looking
look
at
me.
you. Yeah.
Look at him.
We have 2 legitimate. It's not Mike Wallace really fast, and then
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Brandon Marshall.
Legitimate.
Who can catch a nice 12-yard out route.
I am so excited about this Dolphins team. I realized, these Panthers, we've been Panthers fans for me and you jumping on the bandwagon that's not shit to me.
Yeah.
All the good stuff the Panthers have made me feel the last few years, nothing compared to yesterday. I am so hungry for this team to be good. I'm so excited.
Let me explain this to you because this is a sport that has been hand-me-down. Greg Cote still cares about this team, Homer Cote, and he passed it down to his son. And
I'm excited. What do you want from me?
And this is, look, it's been 20 years of just crawling through sewage, 20 years of fandom that stinks. It's never exciting. You're never the team of the week. Football grows into this powerful beast, and you used to matter, but nobody remembers. Generations are growing up, and all you play is 16, 14 games. And the best you can do is 11-5 season, losing a playoff game to the Ravens because Chad Pennington had the arm of a noodle.
Fun season.
Nothing. You just have no spark. You have nothing. Mike Wallace, Tony Martin, any deep threat never has been what he gave you yesterday. It's the first time we've ever seen it. Twice he's beyond a secondary. once totally a blown coverage in one of the most apocalyptic fails I have ever seen. But Tua is now 2-0 against Super Bowl champion coaches. And McCarthy starts, or McDaniel starts his career 2-0 against Super Bowl coaches. And this is what it feels like at a pathetic 2-0, Chris Cote. Like, this is pathetic. As good as this is as good as
no, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I have not had this enthusiasm around this show for the Dolphins in 20 years. I'm not even kidding.
I bought a Tua jersey last night.
Yeah! Wow.
It was on sale at Fanatics if anyone still wants to go.
On sale? The
Good
price should have
job
gone
by
up.
you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Billy, don't tell me they've ensnared you too.
Yeah, how can't they, Dan? I was already in, but a jersey's a financial commitment, and very stressful, by the way, might I add. That's a whole other situation. Do I get the home teal? Do I get the white? Do I get an alternate?
What'd you get?
I ended up going with the white.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not.
I go throwback.
Yeah, but I didn't know if I wanted to do throwback, and it was a decision. Then I'm trying to measure my chest because am I a large? Am I an extra large? I don't know.
Jerseys are tough to wear.
They are, then there's the whole Nike performance fit. I don't know what it means. So then I start looking at the measurements. So then I start, well, what size is my chest? How the hell should I know? I don't know. So I'm there and I'm getting a shoelace and I'm wrapping it around my chest because the tape measure is too hard because it's metallic and it's making sounds and the baby's asleep. So I get a shoelace and I'm going around and then I measure where I think you measure your chest. I don't know how I'm supposed to measure my chest. And I get
right
like
at the nips.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. I measure like 50-something inches.
36C maybe?
Well, that I know how to measure because I used to work at Vicky's. So what you do is you go under, and then you go a little bit over, and then that gives you like the cup size. But that's a different story. I've never had to measure myself. So I'm measuring around my shoulders like 55 inches, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm not a triple extra large. I can't be doing this right. And then my shoelace wasn't big enough, so I had to get a balloon string, and it was a whole ordeal. And I don't know if I got the right size. And now I'm trying to look into Fanatics return policy, and it's like, well, if I ordered an XL, which is what I settled for. No, I got a large. If I order a large, because XL seemed too big.
No,
yeah, but the XL shrinks usually.
NFL jerseys are very loose.
Yeah, but they
if
shrink
you get a
in
large,
the
you'll
wash.
be fine.
That's what I'm thinking. But if I got the wrong size, will I keep my savings based on their return policy? I don't know.
You're wearing a Dolphins t-shirt. I don't think I've ever seen you wear a Dolphins t-shirt.
One of my sleep shirts.
They've done it, Dan.
It's amazing. They've done it. It took one quarter, but they got the town back. They got Billy buying merch. They got Chris Cote more red-faced than he's ever been. It's just 2-0.
And I'm still scared. I'm so scared of the Bills. It's the Bills next Sunday.
Dude, that's a cake game. It's just like, I don't even know
He's
if
right about
that's
that.
not the right term.
No, it's not.
This game doesn't matter.
What, the Bills
we
game?
leave this game 2-1.
I think we call that a house money game.
Money game. Doesn't matter.
Tonight is a great feeling. You get to stick your stomach out. You get to sit back. You get to see what the Bills do. Prove something to me, okay?
Oh, come on.
Because you are coming down here to take Dan.
He's right.
This is the best offense in the NFL.
And you get him on a short week, too.
I mean, what are you
I bought
talking
tickets to
about?
that game.
Yeah.
This is, you know
I'm
what?
going.
Really? You know what?
I'm going.
Tickets?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to.
Chris, this is
expensive tickets, but
I'm
big
going.
check game. Otherwise, I join you.
A little pricey.
Chris Cote and Billy are now firmly on the bandwagon. And when Billy jumps on this rickety thing with a Tua jersey, just please understand that what you've bought yourself is the safety of the following. They could go 2-2 this month, and it's okay. You bought yourself a month. You have bought yourself a month of the media not
Bengals
yelling at
shit,
you
man.
about your team is shit and embarrassing.
Yeah.
Bengals are terrible. Have you been watching the Bengals?
How's the Dolphins pass rush?
Who cares? They have
cares?
We'll get to that later.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
matter.
That's the answer. The
Jalen
Bengals
Phillips,
cannot defend
she brings up a
anything.
point. Jalen Phillips does need to step it up. Not a lot of pressure so far.
Right.
But hey, it doesn't matter today.
Tua needs help. That's what I learned yesterday.
He
needs help.
Yeah.
Step it up on the defensive end. You know what I mean? Like embarrassing. Special teams and
Good
embarrassment.
Lord.
How about you don't let the quarterback run for 79 yards on you for a touchdown? You know what I mean? How about you don't get burned for like a little 7 yard that
I
goes
am
for
not
150
used to
yards.
Xavier Howard not catching someone.
I had a friend next to me that was like, come on, run, Xavier. I'm like, yo, Bateman is really fast. That's one of the fastest guys in the league. He's like, come on, try harder. I'm like, he just sprinted 80 yards trying to catch him.
On the back of his shirt, it should have said 25 aging, chasing after him.
Stunning. It was stunning to just watch that kind of speed, but now the Dolphins have that kind of speed too. And for a quarter, it took 7 quarters, but for a quarter, they gave us, okay, you gave us an offseason of hope. You told us this was going to be a season that matters. You've betrayed us for 20 years, and now Billy and Chris are in. Wholehearted. Whittingham's still sitting it out.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Shit or get off the pot at this
harsh.
point. Right now's the day.
Embrace your quarterback.
I'm scared, guys. I'm scared.
Why?
It was one good game. It was one good quarter. It was one good quarter. It
One
was
good half. You shut your mouth. Half.
Half?
Dude, that the whole second half. Look at his second half numbers.
It was 35-14 at
You
the
were
end of the
ready to
third quarter.
condemn him for the 2 interceptions. He made a couple of bad decisions.
I was privately texting, I think this ends with a 2 interception.
Oh, in the first half, I'm with you. I wasn't punting on Tua overall, but I was down on him in the first half. I was like, this has not been a good half. And you know what he did? He responded.
I thought even through 3 quarters when they're down 3 touchdowns, I thought he was fine. Like you don't want him throwing into double coverage, but the flip side is he's being aggressive. He's trying to get the ball down the field. You can appreciate that in your quarterback. I was not going to come in here today if they lost by 3 touchdowns and have a go at Tua. You give up 3 plays of 75 yards. You turn the ball over twice and you still won. How the fuck did they do that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it was elite accuracy on some of those passes. The pass to Gesicki, they didn't use him at all in game 1, and now he did that. The gritty he did was the worst one ever done. Yes. We haven't seen a worse one done than that. That's the worst it's been done. But that pass to him was elite accuracy, and you got a quarter of hope from your quarterback. He finally gave you something that you've been feeling from Herbert for 2 years, right?
Enough with him. What has he ever done?
Make
Herbert?
the playoffs.
Exactly right. And I had a hot take, Dan, that I'm going to share with you that I wasn't ready to unveil, but I did the other day, and I'm going to share with you now.
Wait a minute. What was that?
Wait, the hot take?
The hot take.
The hot take you told me about in private?
That's right.
Oh, my God.
Well, I
Dan
think I
said
made-
on God Bless Football, available on the Dan LeBatard Show.
It has been said publicly,
Yeah.
just not here.
Just not here.
On your property.
Here.
Well, I was worried. I was worried of the potential backlash. And today, now, it's not as strong as a take after yesterday's performance. I would rather win with Tua than lose with Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
I said it.
Yep.
I said
Wouldn't
it.
everybody?
He'd rather win than lose.
No,
Yes.
I'd
Yes.
rather lose with Herbert than win with
See?
Tua if it was going to be the way that the last few seasons have looked.
Not
That
anymore.
I'd rather just go
Yep.
9 and
Wait, but you're
8
losing.
every season. Yes, I'm losing.
And with
did you-
Tua,
Right.
you're winning.
Did you know
Yes.
that
I'm confused.
The Dolphins are 10-1 in their last 11 games. Yeah. And if before yesterday you posed that hypothetical to me, I would have said, give me that throw on 4th down from Justin Herbert with broken ribs in between 2 defensive backs.
But
that
also
throw
with
is
him.
insane.
And yes, I know. Pick 6s, 4th quarter. He's got 4 of them. You can't do that. Brady's got 4 in his career. Like Rodgers, you can put Rodgers and Russell Wilson together and they don't have 4. Like you can't have the pick 6s. But I'd rather lose with that. Gunslinging, 6,000 yards this season, throw it all over the field. So everything feels like that 4th quarter yesterday. But all of that said, Tua's record now is what? 17-8 as a starter in a league where we measure the quarterback by winning all the time.
Yeah.
I think Herbert's 15-18.
Yep.
He's a loser. I mean, we
He
can
is.
all say it.
Although 500 hasn't played a playoff game. Listen, Dolphin fans should be excited. This is as excited as Dolphin fans, I think, have been while we've been doing our show. You have a coach, you have young wide receivers, you have a young quarterback, you have a good tight end, you have a decent defense. Your team is good. I mean,
okay,
What
you
about
should walk
yesterday?
around
Gave
with
up
some
decent
swagger
defense.
today.
All right, it's just
That was decent.
No,
Yeah,
They gave up
defense-
7 week 1.
Their
I
defense
mean,
in some spots,
Yes.
short yardage, made some big stops.
they did. Yeah.
Jessica,
They did enough.
Hold on, can
Goal
you
line
guys?
stand.
This is what it sounds
The
like.
Lamar Jackson run, though. Where was
He's pretty good, though.
where was the
I mean,
defense
There
on
was
that
Xavier
play?
and Howard chasing
There was
again.
no one there.
So this show for 20 minutes now has been an annoying, obnoxious, loud mess because
Speaking of runs,
2-0.
have
Yeah.
we talked about the Chase Edmonds run? What a call.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
McDaniel. If you had any questions, everyone expecting pass, boom. Run it right up your asshole for 40 yards. Boom. Get us into the field goal range or whatever.
Did you guys see McDaniel's outfit when he walked in? Mike McDaniel, his outfit yesterday. I knew I was feeling good. I mean, then we were down by 21. But before the game, when I saw his outfit, I was like, that's a confident guy.
The gray on gray with the sneakers. That's his
No,
look
he had
now.
like the pink. He had like the bright pink shirt.
Yes.
Do you realize what you
Gucci
just
belt.
did? Your take
love
on
it.
what your coach was presenting was entirely through the prism of what it said on the scoreboard.
That's right.
He gets to the stadium and he looks confident to you, and then you're down 3 touchdowns and you're like, what a bum. Look at that nerd. We're going to really try to win with a nerd.
And we won.
Yeah.
But he changed. That was the problem. Had he been coaching in what he showed up to the stadium in, totally different game. Totally different game.
But he's just confident. He has that swag. He did the thing with the camera. Did you guys actually see this when he was walking in? He did the thing where he was trying to hide. They were like getting the shot of him walking in. He's like, oh, but you following me? He's just having fun.
this is-
Bill Belichick would never.
Stugotz, this is the giddiness. Now, keep in mind,
I've been
if-
talking all night.
Giddiness
by the
at
way.
2-0.
No,
I've
it
been
is-
doing
I know.
this since 4 a.m.
I'm sure.
okay.
and
My
you
wife
should.
hated me
Yes.
this morning. I was
Yes.
doing show at 4:30 this
I
morning.
sit back tonight, put your stomach out, and make the Bills prove something to you. I mean, seriously.
I had Justin Fields and the Bears plus 9.5. I could have been livid based off that terrible call at the goal line. Terrible call.
Fields.
But was I? No. Still happy. Mm-hmm. Nothing you could do. You could slap me in the face right now.
Lost
I'd
money
still
with
smile.
Lost money
Someone
with a
slap
smile
me.
on your face. Yeah, come here, I'll slap you.
Are we doing this?
Guillermo.
Wait, you're really doing
Slap him and see if he smiles.
All right, so
Let's see if
Jessica,
you can maintain
a smile.
Jessica's
I was just
gonna
doing-
You
actually
just said
gonna
I could do it. I'm
Okay.
not going to do it if you don't want me to
All
do it.
right.
All right, so but
Let's
we
test
got to
this theory.
it's got to be near the microphone.
All right, let's go.
Right.
Let's see what we've
Could
got.
you just state for the record that you're asking me to do this?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
please. Yeah, we've
No, like say it.
yes.
Jess, you're gonna slap him and see
Nobody's
if he
Are
can
we doing
maintain
this
that
like
smile.
WWE style or
Chris Cote, this is
As hard as she can.
Jessica is protecting the company here and all liability issues and her
Say
issues.
into the mic.
Just
yes,
say
you
you're
can
not
slap
being
me.
you're not being coerced into doing this. This is a playful thing that you
Why
have
do I always
agreed
do
to.
this to myself? Sure, slap me.
That's not a smile on your face.
That hurt.
I'm
Right.
It can hurt.
You're
I'm still
supposed to
smiling.
laugh. No,
Got a lot of
no.
chin in there.
You gotta laugh.
I'm still happy.
You guys, Jessica's been annoyed this morning because you
No,
guys.
I haven't. You beat a division rival. Thank you. Every team in the AFC North lost yesterday. It was awesome.
Oh, it's just the swirl around you, right? Everybody wants to feel. You understand that the overreaction of this is all born of Stugotz. The Dolphins haven't felt like they've mattered 2 games into a season for 20 years.
I know. I don't view this as an overreaction. This was a great victory against a good team, a former MVP, and the Dolphins had a huge fourth quarter, and they were the talk of the NFL yesterday. When's the last time we could say that? There hasn't been one.
No, it's always Richie Incognito
Right.
and some scandal.
I was satisfied after Justin Tucker hit that field goal to make it 38-35. I was texting some friends, and they're like, oh, this would be devastating if the Dolphins came all the way back. And I was like, no, Tua gave you the performance I've been waiting for since Arizona, November 2020.
It was encouraging.
It's been a year and a half
Yes.
since the Dolphins have put together an offensive performance like that. I was encouraged before they actually finished the comeback, which was astounding because not only did they do it, they made it look easy. Every touchdown drive in that fourth quarter was easy for that defense, and that I am completely unfamiliar with.
I'm still smiling even after the slap.
Also, I'm stunned at the amount of teal that there was in the crowd in Baltimore. Baltimore is a great football town.
The Dolphins always travel well.
I know.
Dolphins fans.
The Dolphins do, but
We're
They're not
talking
the
about
Steelers,
the Miami Hurricanes.
But
We're talking about the Dolphins.
but the Dolphins.
Just kidding. Mike's not here yet.
They have a very good national fan base because of what they did in the 70s and the 80s. You see some teal in the crowd, but that whole lower bowl, there was a genuine roar when the Dolphins finished their comeback. There is a level of enthusiasm amongst diehards that I am completely unfamiliar with.
I should have gotten the teal jersey. I'm thinking about it. I should have done. The white looks fresher, but the teal stands out. The teal says, "I'm here.
It's
I'm
more
about
Billy.
But you
this."
can wear a teal hat with the white jersey.
Yeah, I need to figure it out. And then I'm still not sure I got the right size. I was going to go to Dick's on the way to pick up my dogs from getting their bath, and I didn't, just to try on the jersey. I'll walk you through what happened. I said, I want a jersey.
Maybe jog us through it.
I said, I want a jersey. And I was driving over there to the place where they go, and Dick's was on the way, and I said, I'm going to stop by Dick's. I'm going to see if they have a jersey. And I thought, well, I could probably get this cheaper elsewhere, right? If I look for discounts, which I ended up doing, right? But then I regretted it because I didn't try it on. But while I was in the parking lot at Dick's, because I actually drove there, I go, I should be responsible. This seems like a bit of a spur of the moment thing. I'm going to regret this decision. I shouldn't do this, and it costs a lot of money to get your dogs washed and groomed. So I'm going to spend a lot right now. Let me not do this. Then I got home and I had to do it. I was just looking around, putting things in the shopping cart, and then I saw the discount code.
Walking us through, Dan.
Okay, but he is walking us through. But what I need to know is in your Billy's putting his money and hope behind a sports emotion in this town. You are hesitant with that dollar when it comes. You're hesitant with that allegiance. You're hesitant to care. You sit it mostly out. What are the purchases that you have made in the past? When is the last time you made a Dolphin purchase of any sort where you want to represent that football team? I've only seen you in Marlins gear for as long as I've known you.
What are you talking? I mean, I'm fins up over here. I'm wearing my Dolphins t-shirt today. I buy a lot of Dolphins things. It's just usually for others that I give as gifts for like Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. I bought more Dolphins things for others than I have for myself because I like to spread the joy. I know how much the Dolphins make people happy.
Answer
so
my
I buy
question.
It for others. I don't even remember the question. If you're wondering why I did this, part of it also is because we talk to Chris Sims every week, noted to a hater, and now I can wear it every time I talk to him.
Oh, tell me what is happening here.
And I could put it on the wall
so
that he sees it in the background of my bare walls that he's always making fun of.
I'm pretty certain Sims said he would rather have Geno Smith than Tua. I mean, perhaps we took the worst part of the clip. There was some praise for Tua on the front end of it, but we didn't clip that.
And you kind of put that on him. He praised both of them, and you're like, you'd rather have him than Tua.
How dare you accuse me of that?
Wait a minute. You guys got you, Chris Sims. You threw him to Tuanon as chum. Wait a minute. Were you guys?
They were looking for the quote.
Not entirely. I mean, he's looking to give us those quotes. We just kind of lead him in that direction.
Yeah.
And I gave, instructions. I said, hey, this is where it starts. Maybe ended a little bit after that, but, our video team edited it the way that it edited it, and then it went out, and then, hey, you know what? He said it. We didn't make him say it, Dan. We didn't.
Let's get Jimmy Johnson in here. Jimmy, we're laughing. We're making fun of each other because it's been a long time since after a Dolphin victory, South Florida could get excited about something, feel excited. Are we overreacting after two stupid games, or did you see something yesterday that means that South Florida can get excited about a team since the last time you were coaching it down here?
Well, it was an exciting game, and I think Chris Greer and the organization's done a tremendous job of bringing in talent, and of course Mike McDaniel did an outstanding job of getting them ready and coaching that game. It was an exciting game for me to watch.
Did you make anything of Tua? Like, where are you on this? I think Sean Payton was saying that he thought Tua at some point would be benched this year.
Well, you really don't know about a quarterback. It reminds me of a story, really my second year with the Cowboys. Troy Aikman did not make the Pro Bowl, and had he not hurt his shoulder, he would have gone to the Pro Bowl. And I said, Troy, I'm really sorry. I tried to get you in the Pro Bowl. And he said, Coach, don't you worry about me. He says, you just keep bringing in talent, and I'll go to plenty of Pro Bowls. And I think that's with Tua. People, had opinions about how good Tua was, but now they realize when you got Tyreek Hill and Waddle and all the talent around him, he can show, what he can do. And so, a quarterback is only as good as the talent around him.
Would Jimmy have ever traded that many picks for Tyreek Hill?
Oh, I have no idea. Tyreek Hill is an unbelievable player. And, he's infectious, to the rest of the players around him. He's an exciting football player without question.
Jimmy, are you saying that Tua can be Troy Aikman?
No, I don't like comparing players. Tua is a talented player. He's got a good touch on the football. He's a good athlete. And, when you got talented players around him, he's able to make plays.
Jimmy, are you about to go out on the boat right now?
Of course he is.
No, this time of year, I get a media request or a podcast almost daily. I turn down about 90% of them. But this is a busy time for me. I've got, Colin Cowherd later on today. Get ready. We got a bunch of different stuff. Of course, I got Fox NFL Sunday. I'm going to go with Eli and Peyton on the Monday night game next week. And like I said, it's just a busy time for me right now.
Jimmy, you're retired. What do you mean?
I'm working harder in retirement than I did when I was coaching.
Jimmy, slow down, okay? Because we just asked you. I brought you in here and I asked you 4 Dolphin questions. I didn't ask you how you were doing. I just grinded up the Jimmy machine, and I'm like, asking football questions, get football information. No, how are you doing? It sounds like you're working too much. Why don't you just do everything from home these days and don't go anywhere?
Well, watching this stock market go down and going to be down again today is not real fun.
Yeah. You're right about that, Jimmy.
I have not talked about business with you in
a
long time. When did you get into the stock market? Because you do some daily gambling there, yes?
Well, yeah, no, I do some stock market. I made more money in the stock market than I ever did coaching. My first stock that I bought was Mattel Toys in 1966. So I've been dealing in the stock market for a long, long time.
Jimmy, if Tua was a stock, would you buy it today?
Yeah, I would probably overpay for it.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you like about business, Jimmy? What is it that you like about playing that game? Because it probably scratches a competitive itch for you that feels a little less intense than football.
Well, of course, like anybody, I enjoy making money, and it is something that keeps me occupied. It keeps my mind working. If you're going to be successful in the stock market, you really got to work it every day. But I enjoy doing it. It is competitive.
Are you good at it?
I'm very good at it.
What makes you very good at it?
I work at it. Just like if you're going to be good at anything, you got to work at it.
Okay, well, Jimmy, but hold on a second, though, Jimmy. I don't understand. You're approaching 80 years old, and you love life, and you have carved out exactly the life that you have wanted. Why the hell are you running yourself ragged these days?
The only time I'm running ragged is when I get all these media requests because I don't make any money on that.
Well, say no to them, Jimmy.
Okay, because I don't want, at this stage in our lives, Jimmy, I do not want to hassle you. I want this to be fun for you. So let's go back to the game.
Well, now, Dan, you tell me what's fun about it. It's fun for you and you make a living doing it. But I could be doing something else. I could be on that boat if I wasn't sitting here talking to you.
That's right. And so
this is what it's like when you call Jimmy's house. I've been telling you this for years, Dan. You're getting the treatment right now.
But I understand, but the season has gotten ramped up. And what's funny about this to me, Jimmy, is that 2 weeks into the football season, football's got you by the neck again. Football, because you got a lot of stuff to do.
I love football. I love yesterday. Fox has been trying to get me to come out there every week for the last 3 or 4 years. And I tell them, I said, I can't do it every week. I'm not going to make that trip to L.A. I said, I talked to Bradshaw this morning. I said, I'll pick you up in the plane and I'll take you out to L.A., Saturday. But I enjoy. I had a ball yesterday. I had 3 TVs going. I had all the games going. I watched the comeback, with the Dolphins. I watched the comeback with Arizona. Watched the Cowboys win a tight one. And so, I love football. I love watching football. I love watching football on Saturdays. Saturday I started watching it at 11 o'clock in the morning, watched the pregame shows, and I didn't stop watching until late that night. So football's another thing that I enjoy.
Jimmy, did you know that Joe Flacco was still playing football?
I knew that he was playing, but I wasn't very impressed with him until yesterday. And really, they had no business winning that game. They should have. The game should have been over 2 minutes earlier.
Is Nathaniel Hackett in over his head?
Oh, I have no idea. I think every time a guy's a head coach, if it's the first time being a head coach, you learn in the process. His dad was really active. He worked for me for a period of time, Paul Hackett, and he's a good football coach. He'll learn. He's going to make some mistakes, like a lot of them.
Jimmy, do you root for the Dolphins and the Cowboys on Sunday?
Oh yeah, without question. I root for people that I know. I know so many people. Hey, McIntyre at FIU. His dad worked with me at Clemson. So, you look at that, all the colleges and all of the pro teams, I've probably got somebody on their staff or somebody that worked for me or a relative. Norv Turner, I pulled for the Washington Commanders because Scott Turner is their offensive coordinator, and Norv is a good, close friend, his dad. So I root for people. I don't necessarily root for teams, but I've got a lot of connections with, the Dolphins. And I spent some time with Mike McDaniel for about an hour and a half. I love Chris Greer. He does a great job. I talk to him all the time. The Cowboys, obviously, I got a lot of people there that I really care about. So, I watch teams because of the people I know, and I pull for the friends that I have in the business.
Who do you root against, though? Definitely Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
Oh, actually, I like Notre Dame.
Thank you.
Because I have great memories of Notre Dame. I think, sometimes people get carried away with rooting against teams. That's a negative. That puts you in a bad mood, because when you root against them and they win, you get in a bad mood. Rather than root against teams, I root for people. I try to be positive.
Yeah. Coach, you got to root against
people.
Like
Jimmy, it's fun. Yeah.
Notre Dame, hey, I've got great memories about Notre Dame, and man, they're one of the, the great, college universities of all time. It's fun to watch Notre Dame.
Let's play the game.
Not this year.
Let's play the game with Jimmy. Let's play the game here before we get him out of here, because he's got a lot of things to do here. The new game, it's sweeping the nation. It is Guest House or Big Chill, where we throw a name at Jimmy Johnson, and he tells us whether that person can stay at his guest house or whether they just get lunch at the Big Chill. Who do you have? I'm sure, Jimmy, a lot of people have been talking to you about this game all over the world, correct?
Yeah, but I've got to put a little bit of a preface on it. Actually, I've got somebody coming in that's going to stay today, but normally this time of year when I'm busy and when I'm traveling and it's football season, the request, not only do they not go to the guest house, they don't even go to the Big Chill.
No time.
No time.
All right, so another category, but go ahead, Whittingham, throw some his way and let's get him out of here.
Jeff Probst.
Now, is it going to be off season or is it going to be now? Because I'm going to turn down everybody now.
Well, tell Chuck Pagano I said hello, okay? I mean, he's making a visit today.
Yeah, Chuck, one of my guys. Yeah. If it was Chuck, I would have a good phone call with him and say how he's doing.
All right. Very nice of you, Jimmy.
What do you got, Whittingham? Give him another name.
Jeff Probst.
Ooh.
Jeff Probst, I'll call him back next week.
Wow.
Go ahead, Whittingham. Give him another one.
Ed Orgeron.
Oh, Ed might come over.
Coach O.
Hey, actually, I saw Ed when I spoke at the University of Miami clinic. And I just say, Ed, are you doing okay?
That's a great fake Ed.
That's a good fake Ed. An excellent fake Ed. A couple more and get him out of here. Let's go.
Gary Stevens.
Gary, I'm going to see Gary when I go to the University of Miami National Championship reunion here in a couple of weeks.
All right.
So I'll see Gary then.
I'll see Gary then. I'll see Gary over there.
See you, Gary.
All right.
See you, Gary.
One more.
Jeff Fiegels.
Figs.
His punt.
Hey, Fiegels, great memories. I remember when he got that punt blocked, his first time at University of Miami, and Florida State blocked that punt. Fortunately, they were offsides. And I saw him on the sideline, and he looked like a deer, and looking into headlights. I said, hey, hang on in there, Jeff. I said, you got some more punts coming.
One more, Jimmy, for you. Dan LeBatard.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, wow.
Dan LeBatard. Who is this now?
Jimmy, see you later, Jimmy.
Hey, just a second. Hold on.
Yeah. Where's he going? This is exciting.
You can pre-order on Sunday.
Boy. Yes.
Swagger, written by Dave Hyde.
Some great stories in there now. You will love them.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I've got a documentary coming out on Epix, or is that how you pronounce it? Epix channel?
You got it.
Epix?
Yeah.
Yeah, Epix this weekend, I think 10 o'clock. It's some kind of documentary. We had fun doing it.
Peter King wrote about it today. You should read it. He says Jimmy gave away some nuggets. It'll be good for people who love football. Jimmy, always appreciate the time, sir. Get out on that boat.
Wait, I got to watch the stock market first.
All right. Very nervous this morning, Jimmy. It's okay.
All right. Talk to you guys.
Just short everything.
See you, buddy.
That is a man that did not share our enthusiasm for the Dolphins game.
No.
He was just like,
Futures are down,
you
Chris.
ask me a question, I answer it.
Because we're overreacting
You
to
might
two
have to
games.
sell the big chill.
Yeah.
The stock market is down.
Well, who's visiting today? Because no one was invited, but someone's coming today.
Right.
It's got to
During
be like
a very
Peyton Manning.
tricky and busy time in his life. Not Peyton. He's got the Monday night thing tonight, right?
Oh, you're right.
But who was cracking through? With the stock market down and Jimmy not very excited and not in a good mood, who was possibly getting to the house? It's great. Troy?
Can't go on the boat. Gas prices are up.
Emmett?
Troy's on Monday night, too.
I think we
yeah.
should have played just that game with Jimmy.
Maybe it's Jim Cramer.
Call him back.
Bezos.
Bad money.
Did you guys see how the show just skidded into Jimmy Johnson? Like all our enthusiasm at the feet of the coach who has seen so many 2-0s.
You were like, did we overreact? What'd you make of the Tua game? He was like, it was a good game. But
I mean, the fact that he says he's not going to be Aikman is just ludicrous.
Does better.
I think
know what
Tua
he's
already
watching.
has more touchdown passes this season than Troy Aikman had in probably 5 of his.
No way.
Well, but Stugotz was trying to bait him there, right? He didn't really say Tua was Aikman, did he?
Stugotz is always doing that with Tua and analysts.
Yes,
if you
yeah.
listen to Stupidity.
It's one of my favorite games, yeah.
He asked him, can Tua be as good as Aikman? And he said no, essentially,
Right.
which is just absurd.
Stu says it like he's on Team Tua, but he always is looking for the quote anti-Tua.
But you notice what he did there. I'm not certain Jimmy even noticed what he did there. It was kind of like a backhanded compliment at Troy Aikman. Like, Troy only became great when I got a Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith. It was essentially what he was saying. That's news. I mean, I hate to tell you, clip it the right way and you got everything you need.
This is now what you're doing with Stupidity. Stupidity is now just a renegade outfit hell-bent on trying to make news, and the Tua-sphere is a fine place to do it.
He did a great job with the Geno Smith thing. Geno Smith, who had a good half for the Seattle Seahawks and has done literally nothing since. The Seattle scored yesterday on a blocked field goal. He had 0 offensive points yesterday. Did nothing in the second half, and he's just coasting on the one good half that he had on Monday Night Football.
Did you guys do that? Did you entrap Chris Sims? Is that what happens there?
No, but Stugotz knows and Billy knows, right? Chris Sims is not like Tua.
But what are the consequences here? What was the Chris Long bet? Didn't Chris Long tell us he was going to get a tattoo of Tua if what? If Tua... Was
a tattoo?
If yes, that was the joke you made then too.
Yes, yeah,
but you're not helping answer my question.
It holds up, though. I mean,
no, it's a good joke, indisputably, but it doesn't really answer my question at all. What were the stakes for Chris Long on? I mean, we need to now get.
I think he said he'll never throw 469 yards and 6 touchdowns in a game, and if he does, I have to get a tattoo.
Mike McDaniel's initials?
Huh. Dan, your coach has finally arrived. I mean, he goes for it on 4th down
in his
all
own
the
territory.
time.
In his own 4th and 1 at the 34, they went for it.
Because we're still learning about McDaniel. It's our second game watching him. So, like, I said it in the middle. I just said it out loud. I was like, we're the Chargers. We're the Chargers now. And I'm glad. I want to be one of those teams that goes for it.
It's funny, right? Because the math caught up to all these guys where now it's somehow shocking. I saw that 7 times yesterday. A guy in his own territory going for it on 4th and something, and in a part of the game where they just have confidence that they can get 2 yards because they can.
Mike McCarthy did it.
No way.
No, he did.
What?
He did it. He did the thing. Yes.
There's been some really bad spots this year, by the way. Like, the play before was one of them where it's like, it's not just the numbers you're going against. It's the referees and just wherever they determine the ball was when they can't see
I want to push back on that because there are so many times where they get it right. Where it's like, I'm impressed that they aren't worse at that because it seems really tough. They're like running down the sideline and they see where his forward progress. Sometimes they screw it up.
Nah, they just throw the beanbag and they run.
For how
through.
It's like these old, like we like to make fun of the old guys with their chains. Like it's pretty impressive most of the time. Where it's like he was a half a yard short and this guy's running 6 yards and he just like knows exactly. How do they do it?
Do you guys find it funny that these guys now, because finally, after resisting math for like 5 years, where all the nerds were telling them, yes, you need to go for it on 4th and short. It's not a brave thing to have Tua just push forward and not punt like every guy before you because they played the game all wrong. That now they're all kind of brave by just doing what's always been the smartest thing. Do you not find that both funny and stupid that McDaniel's not brave? He's just like, yeah, it's not that big a deal. I understand. Fans are going to get mad. I'm going to go for it on 4th and 1 yard at the 47. I'm not terrified. I'm not going to coffin kick him and try and get him inside the 5 when Lamar Jackson can run 90 yards on me.
It's crazy. Like back in the day, you'd be at the opposing 40. Like you're in the other person's territory. 4th and inches, I'm just jogging off the field. We'll pin him deep. Yep. It was just like such a thing. Like 4th and inches, there wasn't even a thought. It was just jog off the field. It's why. How stupid were we?
If you had Sean Landetta, you'd do it too. I'm telling you, that guy could put a punt inside the 5 whenever he felt like it.
Stugotz does one along for the coffin corner. Stugotz, put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatardShow.
Coffin drill in Madden.
Do you long for the coffin corner punt? Because part of the math is honestly McDaniel's just saying, you know what? I don't want to give it to him. I know. If I have the ball, and I can go 1 yard on 4th down with the ball, I don't want to give it to Lamar Jackson.
Although, to be fair, he was doing it against Mac Jones, so it's not always about. It's about the math. Although
he just does it, is what you're saying.
I do think there's going to be a moment where McDaniel's going to do it in a big spot, and I'll be curious if he's as resolute as he is now. It's easy now because they've gotten all of them, but Brandon Staley has backed off. We saw that on Thursday Night Football last week. Brandon Staley is not the same guy he was a year ago.
Well, it cost him twice last year. That's why. Two or three times.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, the consequence.
Yes.
Even though, did you know that Stugotz, the Chargers were 4th best in the NFL in 4th down conversion percentage? But because of the spots in which it failed, it has blown back on him. And I figured against the Chiefs, you'd go for it more because, like you're saying, you don't want to give the ball back to Mahomes. But the consequences come for these coaches.
This will happen. There'll be a game this year that they lose, and I'll be arguing about why'd you go for it from your own 40-yard line. But it's still the way that he's telling you 2 games in against Super Bowl champions, this is how I'm going to play. On 4th and short with my offense, I'm not going to be scared of criticism, of people are yelling at me, they're going to blame me. Now, it's easier to do it 2-0. And Brandon Staley got hit. And not only has Brandon Staley gotten hit with, whoa, you're a pioneer, you're a little too brazen and brave, you're a little reckless with it, but now he's attached to, oh, if Herbert fails, that's this dude's fault. Because we all see Herbert can play. Like Herbert, any offensive mind in this game can get that guy and make, you know what I mean? Like that.
It is, to Witty's point, it's interesting how he is seeming to change his strategy a little bit. He's hearing the criticism, seeing the results. I'm with you, Dan. I hope that you just, if this is your strategy, you just go with it and, you know.
Yeah, but what happens is he does it in a big spot. It doesn't work. The fans start getting on him. The media starts getting on him. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's not as likely to do it moving forward. So if you're a fan of what he's doing, be a fan of it whether it works or not. You know?
That's not how fans
I know, you're right.
Billy, I can't believe...
I'm going to crush him.
No, you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. I'm tired of this Brandon Staley getting so much credit on all this stuff. I got to tell you something, Staley. This is how I was playing Madden 15 years ago. So you're not this visionary. I never punted once on Madden. Not once on Madden. So
you probably lost a lot.
No. What do you mean I lost a lot?
But you're also the only one that has to deal with those consequences. That's what's different.
What do you mean? I have a whole team.
Well, fans weren't watching you. I mean,
all those little guys with the big hearts.
Yeah, when I have a season mode going on, I have 52 people that are, you know, depending on me to make the right decisions.
It's totally the same thing.
By the way, I know you don't want to do this, Dan, but I'm looking at this schedule for the Dolphins going ahead a couple games.
Oh, yeah.
In the next, 15 games, I see maybe 2 L's. Yeah, there's the game against the Lions. That's an L. You know that. Right. And then there's like maybe a Jets loss in here and there. The Bills, we don't know about. We'll find out tonight. The Packers are meh at best.
At Lions is all of a sudden a tough game.
That's what I'm saying. That's an L. That's
Guillermo,
tough,
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please.
Everyone's 1-1.
At LeBatard Show. Is tonight for the Dolphins a stick out your gut game?
Ah, yes.
And prove it to me, Bills.
Right. Oh, I'm looking at. I thought you were talking about Justin Fields.
I thought so too, but I had the Bears. So.
Me too.
I had the Packers. I would think that.
I had the Packers. I was fine with it.
I didn't know I had the Cardinals in the bucket of death yesterday.
I didn't.
I was watching the game and I didn't realize how much was actually at stake when I was watching the game. And I
put back the Saints and everyone was that ended up helping you.
Well, I was ready to protest whatever the outcome was. But I was watching and I was rooting for the Raiders because I had 2 Raiders in fantasy. So I wanted it to go to overtime, but I wanted the Raiders to win. I needed a Devontae Adams touchdown from Derek Carr to get some DK fantasy points that I didn't get.
Right.
There's nothing worse than seeing the little snowflake next to one of your people.
The frosty snowflake. But how about when you see fire?
Oh, I love it. I love fire.
Oh. Yeah.
Snowflake is soul destroying. I had
really
the Browns.
is.
I had the Browns in the bucket of death.
That
was unpleasant. And that's another one where it's like, oh wow, the Jets, what a comeback.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, that 99.9% chance to win means I go to the grid of death.
Yeah. I've been safe through 2 weeks here. Listen, I'm back now. I would like Roy to pick for me, though, because Roy has done a tremendous job of picking for. I had the Niners. I mean, I cruised all afternoon.
But
it's a great feeling.
You love Look at Me Louie rummaging, though.
I do, yeah. But Roy can rummage for now. I like winning more, you know?
Was there anything more embarrassing to happen to anyone yesterday than Stefanski having his kids on the field thinking that the game was over? That as the Browns coach, Stugotz? Is this not something that people are making fun of as that team, as people wish ill on that team because of how it is governed, for them to lose a game to the Jets that way, where if Chubb had gone down before the goal line, they could have just run out the clock, but he got the touchdown, then you recover the onside kick, and then, of course, the Jets thunder down the field, and Stefanski's kids, the next time you see them, are back in the stands. They've been placed back in the stands, and he was on the field to celebrate with his kids.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't like being a moralizer. I don't like really talking about anything serious, right? What are the Browns fans doing? What are they doing with the tailgates, with the customized jerseys? What are they doing? Completely embracing what's been going on with Deshaun Watson. What are they doing?
Sports fans never miss the chance to be the worst.
Yeah,
they just don't. And
there's a bunch of women in that picture celebrating that too.
Fair play to Mike for making the decision to be I don't want any part of this, because that was genuine vision. The first home game, they have a fake massage table out. I mean, what in the hell was that? Why does sports elicit this from us? I saw this weekend, there was a Real Madrid-Atletico Madrid game, and there's a Real Madrid player who's been subject to racist abuse in recent days. And the Atletico fans, because it's a local derby, decided to have a go at him in a racist manner as well, just because it might put him off in the local derby. Sports fans never miss the chance to be the absolute worst.
But isn't it just sports coming around to reflect the divisions everywhere else, that of course the worst of us are going to now present themselves in these spaces too, to everyone is taking sides on. I mean, I saw a New York Times poll that asked people if democracy is crumbling, and 69% of Republicans said yes, and 69% of Democrats said yes.
Never happened before.
There's no division there that democracy is crumbling. Of course, this is going to end up manifesting itself in the most crass extremes in sports as well.
But why do you have to fully embrace it? Why can't you just be yeah, our quarterback, not a good dude, but he's a good football player, so I feel really gross about this, but if it helps my team, okay. But Then you take it a step further and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in on this brand. Like, why? Why do you have to go to that level?
Because there is a certain aspect of sports fandom where it becomes part of your identity and you feel the need to defend it. And you feel the need, like, this is my thing.
There's no defending this, though.
I know, but you take ownership of it, and so it's like, I'm going to back Deshaun Watson when nobody else is because he's our guy now. He's going to help me win football games. It's part of my identity.
I think fans will go to extreme lengths to defend something that they view as an attack on their identity. But then there's like going to a store, buying a mannequin, making a sign, buying a towel, like that.
Putting a prosthetic penis in there.
There's custom jerseys too, like with his number, and then like one person's last name says rubbing and the other one says tugging, and it's like, why?
Matching couples jerseys.
There was that that guy holding the sign at the beginning of the season with like a little kid that said something very explicit on it too. Like, and I'm not calling out Browns fans because I'm sure lots of fan bases exhibit the same behavior, but obviously the Browns have been in the news cycle because of Deshaun Watson. Witty, I don't know, like what do you do about this if you're the Browns or the NFL? Are you going to acknowledge it, or are you just going to be like, well, pretend we don't see that?
But Billy, you're saying it's fine to root for the Browns and Deshaun Watson, just don't take it out to that extreme? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I understand if your like identity is wrapped around this team, you being like, I want this team to win. Like someone was going to have this person, like, I feel really gross about, like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like the Marlins won the World Series in 2003. Great feeling for me, right? Then you find out, what was going on with their catcher there? There's suspicions that maybe these players, especially in that era, weren't all clean, right?
The closer was a murderer.
Well,
the closer, Uga Urbina, is
I don't
now,
know
it
if
might
he was a murderer,
still be
just
in jail.
threatened, murdered.
There was farmers, machetes, somebody who set fire. All the details are horrible. But yes, and
we're all compromised.
As sports fans, everyone is compromised because every team has a piece of shit on it. Every team in every sport has someone that has something disgusting, right? But like, why do you then go and celebrate those things? Like, what's the point of that?
Well, Dolphin fans aren't looking here when it comes to Tyreek Hill, right? He's got the past that comes with the details that no one is talking about when he streaks into the end zone now and has South Florida sounding as ridiculous as we did when the show careened to the doorstep of a very serious Jimmy Johnson, who wasn't here for our enthusiasms for 2-0.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs fans did the same thing, though, right? Not to justify it, but the Chiefs fans were celebrating having Tyreek Hill as well. I mean,
the Dolphins fans are doing that right now.
Can we get back to the Browns?
Sure.
It's easier over there.
But like, it's easy to just be like, oh, well, every team has someone on it you don't want to root for, and then you just normalize it, and then owners keep signing those types of players. And that's not, to mention that some of the people owning franchises are not the best people either, and have engaged in bad practices.
I mean, my question more so is like, we have normalized it, right? And that's not to say that it's right, but why go the extra step and celebrate it? Right.
You can be a Browns fan and just be like, that shit is terrible. I can't believe, like, I'm still a Browns fan, not going to necessarily root for him, but I'm a Browns fan. And they're not just doing that. That would be like, okay, I can understand that.
But
it's
where
like,
do you draw the line? Like
it's like
standing ovations, cheering a good play,
a
do you
massage
golf
table.
clap them?
Human decency? Human decency?
I'm agreeing with all of this.
No,
but cheering for the guy or just wearing a jersey with his name and number on it?
That's not what Billy is saying. If you want to cheer for the Browns, there's a stadium full of people who had their heart broken. They got Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback, and they came close to starting 2-0. And oh my God, what if we can get the season to Deshaun Watson?
But Dan, I'm saying it's all wrong. Like cheering for him at any level, buying a jersey, supporting him, putting money in his pocket, whatever it is.
But Billy's talking and Chris are talking about going that far, far extreme of no, I'm also going to be obnoxious to get what? Instagram famous, or to get people clucking about I'm a controversial person who's on the line on comedy.
That's exactly it. And that's where, because you were saying, well, how does it mirror the society? That's where it mirrors the society, because there is a form of politics that is mostly on the right wing that is just basically, fuck you. The whole point is triggering. The whole point is angering Democrats. The whole point is every form of society progressing. Let's go the other way, whether it's racism, sexism, gay rights, whatever it is. We're just going to go the other way, and we're going to do so aggressively. And that is essentially the Trump playbook. The Trump playbook is we're going to anger all of these people who are trying to be nice or trying to do the right thing on purpose because I'm a cynic, because I'm an asshole, and my whole point of being is to just try and upset these people. And so I'm going to go for the shock jock stunt of in the parking lot, put a fake massage table because it'll trigger them. It'll trigger people that are already against me anyway. They already don't like me anyway. So I'm just going to put that there on purpose to piss them off.
So you've got them as a Republican, that person that did that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's a sweeping generalization right there.
You think that guy's a Bernie bro?
I mean, all of them.
I mean, it's just much easier to talk about Brownie the Elf at midfield.
I wish I would have done that.
Billy, are you happy?
How did I start this?
I did not have this on my bingo card today. Billy getting this conversation rolling.
Brownie the Elf. Mike is late. He flew to Texas to see 3 field goals.
Well, 5 attempted field goals, Dan.
That didn't
Glass half full.
That didn't look fun. He sent a picture out of just him in an NFL hat, like I'm at a Cowboys Bengals game. Like you're not rooting for anybody. Like is that fun?
Well, he's morally set it out.
Also, like a weird NFL stadium experience too. Like I imagine I've only been to Jerry World once for the Cotton Bowl, and I imagine the atmosphere is very fun for the Cowboys, but it is a very like sterile, clean, new age NFL stadium. Like it's not like if I want to go feel like an NFL experience where I would go. I'm probably pissing off every Cowboys fan. But like it's a weird stadium for that as a neutral fan.
Mike did a video of like, here's the game-winning field goal. He had no emotion on his face. He was just like, I'm sharing this with you. Like it was just a weird thing of like, I am not a fan of these teams. Well, I'm attending this sporting event, and this is the finish.
Isn't his fandom up for free agency? Isn't he trying to be Rob Lowe as NFL fan who roots for no one, but is in the business of, I'll be a fan of your team?
I think he was trying the Cowboys on for size. He was telling me in Whittingham how much he loves Cooper Rush.
I mean, that's exhausted.
Yes, right.
He was in Texas A&M and then this. Like, what a weekend. For what? Just to like watch a game
weekend.
You don't care about?
You want to, sit it out. Sit it out at home. Save thousands of dollars. What's the point?
Right.
Get home a day early, rest up, sleep, sit in traffic, sit behind the dump truck that crashed into a little car on the 836 like the rest of us.
He was there in person to see Mike McCarthy go for it on 4th down. In his own territory.
A momentous occasion. Yeah. I think it was worth every dollar just to watch him do that.
Did you guys know that Brownie the Elf? Did you guys know the story of Brownie the Elf?
I'm familiar with the logo.
At the 50-yard line of the game yesterday, there was a cartoon character I'd never seen before, Brownie the Elf, that is a 1940s character for the Browns that is meant to do chores in your home. Chores in your home. And I feel like... I feel like I should know that.
They're doing that as a distraction.
Just
from everything else?
What sports is as symbolism. Just here's a cartoon in the middle of the field. Let's celebrate funny, happy time. There are elves in sports and entertainment. Let's not think about any of the serious stuff. Oh no, here come the Jets, and Salas is taking receipts.
Salah. Yeah,
he's got plenty of receipts though. At the end of that, because that was. Stugotz, you're a Jets fan.
Yes.
That was astounding.
Amazing.
30-17 with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah.
That game is... I would have left. I thought to myself yesterday at the end of all of that, you can never leave a sporting event ever again.
You can't.
I would have left at Dolphins 14, Ravens 35 on the road. I would have gone.
Yeah.
I would have left at Raiders 23, Cardinals 7. I would have been gone. I always thought of myself as the savvy sports fan that knew when to leave. You can't leave anymore. You have to stay until the end.
Yeah, well, I've told the story on the show before about when my grandpa left the game with the Immaculate Reception early, and he was in the concourse when Franco Harris caught the ball.
Oh, my God.
That sucks.
Guys, I learned something yesterday about Franco Harris. So I'm watching the Dolphins game, and I'm at a bar, so there's like a bunch of TVs. I see the Pittsburgh New England game, and they scan past their like wall of fame. And I see that. I was like, oh, I know these names. Oh, Franco Harris. I learned yesterday that his name is not Frank O'Harris. I was like, his name's Franco?
You thought it was O'Harris.
I thought it was Frank O'Harris.
Irish.
Frank O'Harris's Irish Army.
And in hindsight, I've never heard of an O'Harris. So
There probably are O'Harrises, but they live in Dublin.
I was just like, wow, mind blown. I was at Twin Peaks. I did the Billy thing. I fell off my chair.
I don't know.
So you thought the Steelers running back, the Hall of Famer, his first name was Frank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank.
First name Frank, last name O'Harris. Now that, and so you thought he was a white Irishman? You didn't think
It's
that
one
was,
of those names I just heard a lot. I don't know if I've ever actually seen Frank O'Harris. Frank O'Harris.
But what's more shocking, that or that Jessica's dad? Like, that is one of the seminal sports moments anywhere in sports the last 50 years.
My grandpa was famous for like grumbling and giving up on the team, and then as soon as they win, he's like, oh, I love this team, never in doubt. Honestly, maybe it runs in the family a little bit. But Chris, there was this very famous group of fans in the 70s that actually, I think like one of my distant cousins like founded this group because all the Italians are related somehow.
Bona fides.
Well, so I know this because Franco Harris like signed a Franco Harris.
It still sounds like you're saying
NFL.
Frank O'Harris.
Frank O'Harris.
So when my Grammy died, she left me
No
all
one's ever
these.
said it like that.
When my Grammy died, she left me all these NFL player cards that she had collected, and one was Franco Harris. So my cousin's like, "Oh, I can get him to sign that for you." So he did, which was nice.
I learned a lot of that stuff yesterday.
Well, there was this famous group called Franco's Italian Army that wore these hard hats that went to all the Steelers games in the 70s. And so there was like a big Italian-American community connection with him, I guess.
The things you learn.
I mean,
I also learned yesterday that Melvin Ingram is not Melvin Ingram. Oh, that's a joke. That was just like, that was leaning into the
One
word.
too far.
Terrible.
One too far.
I still heard it every time.
in Harrison.
Every time she said it the next times, all I kept hearing was that Frank.
because the Yinzers make everything one word. Franco Harris.
Well, now when you were talking about the fan club, I was thinking of it as Frank O's fan club.
Oh,
and I can't unhear it now that Chris pointed it out.
Well, Chris Cote came barreling in here with a number of funny weekend observations because we'll get to Stugotz's a little later in the show, but he thinks there's tension between a couple of members of the College Gameday
There's
crew.
no thinking about this. Did you watch on Saturday? There's some
Really?
icy.
Who?
David Pollock. I mean, I'm obviously reckless speculating here. I don't like.
Hold on.
I haven't talked to anybody.
Hold on a second.
I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know anything.
Just wait.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
David Pollock. He has had to move over a seat. Not on the David Pollock used to be out there when the show started in the middle seat.
He was.
I don't think Pollock ever starts.
He never starts.
Right.
He never
Yeah.
starts.
It helps my story better if he does.
Okay, but
All
we'll
right.
pretend he did.
All right, he's a
He was-
starter.
all right,
He's a
if
starter.
we're doing their
Yeah.
depth chart, though, he was number 5,
Yes,
and now he's number 6.
that's true.
Pat McAfee. I'm just saying, there were a few times when they were talking the App State game. Pat McAfee had all these reasons, and then David had to be like, "You just named all the reasons why they should be worried for an upset." Like they're going at each other. Wow. And it's just a little. There's just they do it with a smile, and then McAfee hit Pollock with, "Oh, you look good. This suit." He's like touching his tie. I'm telling you, there is like
Don't do that.
There is some stuff here with these two. It's just like. But
You think Pollock wants a piece of him?
I say all that like I see both sides because Pollock is just X's and O's, really good. Like he gives good analysis. But McAfee just like plays to the crowd more. McAfee's like me in Austin. Like every chance he gets, he's like, "What's up, Austin? Yeah." Like anytime they go to him on something, he's like, "Yeah, that would be a good." They're talking Michigan State. Like a random other game, and he's just like, "Yeah, that would be. Imagine if they played here in Appalachian State." Like he's playing to the crowd at every chance.
He's a wrestler.
That's what I mean. It gets the crowd
so
going,
good.
but it's empty. Like, well, David Pollock can give you like good X's and O's. This team runs the ball. This guard pulls better than any guard in the country. But people don't want that. They want the jazz hands.
I haven't noticed any of it, but I'm totally with you, and I feel like what's going on here is Pollock saying, "This guy's a punter. Like, I was a linebacker. Get out of here with this. I have no time for this guy.
Punters are like the keepers of the
Yeah.
football world, right? Like everyone's like, they're. I heard Alex Smith say this on the ESPN Daily last week. He's like, long snappers, punters, and kickers, they think they're football players, and they're not. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Tell Ray Guy that. Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I do wonder how the game day crew as a whole thought of. Like, I wonder the decision process of bringing McAfee in. Like, was that was probably made from up top, so those guys just have to deal with it. I wonder if there's any. They're all going to put smiles on during the show, but I just wonder if there's any tension there.
Forgive me for just a second, because this is great. I just want you guys to absorb that for the last 15 seconds, Stugotz moved in his chair so pleased with himself because in a tight window, he said, tell Ray Guy that. Because he just wanted to name a 70s punter, and he was so amused with himself that he was wheezing over here at how brilliant his Ray Guy reference is. But you're bringing up a couple of things here, Chris, because it's not just the tension of punter, linebacker, serious guy versus wrestler, but it's also, hey, I'm new, I'm here, I'm the star, I'm the man of the people, and I'm now going to fiddle with your tie. I never wear a tie. I'm Pat McAfee, man of the people, jocular wrestler. Hey, Pollock, get out of the way. My show now.
And Pollock's so good looking that he's used to winning his whole life. He's been the good looking, good analyst.
Lot trophy winner, 2004.
I like Pollock, but
He's
do you
great.
think it's beef between McAfee and Pollock, or McAfee and maybe everyone else?
Everyone.
Well,
minus Corso.
I don't think they want him there.
Like
The
that's
only
who, like
Corso.
that's the writing on the wall is eventually Corso will step down and it'll be those five. Like so Pollock will then move into what? Dude, he's like 87 years old. Eventually, he's going to retire.
No, but Chris, when you put someone, Jess is right. When you put someone like Pat McAfee on a show that's already a lot of people feel like is perfect, you're telling them, hey, your show needs something. It needs Pat. It needs some pizzazz, right? So you're essentially telling that crew, hey, you're no longer as good as you used to be.
Yeah.
But they've been tinkering with that show for years. They brought in
you guys
your boy.
Pollock.
You guys McAfee against everybody is what you guys are now making
he's
it?
rubbing I haven't noticed, but he's rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'd keep an eye on David Pollock, see if he starts getting back into game shape. You know what I'm saying? Put on a couple LBs there. In case things go down, he's going to assert his dominance.
Oh, are they just setting up for like a wrestling match at the end of the season? Because I can
Imagine
see
that.
that little stunt happening.
Imagine, they put at the bottom like 1040 Cristobal story. What if 11:15 McAfee versus Pollock?
Yeah.
I am there.
Pollock has been on that show since 2011. If you think about that, the main set
He looks great.
of College Gameday, they've been together for 11 years. I imagine that show, basically, they traveled together. They seem to have a great relationship. They put the bear on television.
It's not an actual bear.
And they dropped
Yes, chef.
Pat McAfee in there to try and mix things up a bit, and it can take a second.
You know the thing about that too, though, like kind of watching the dynamic, he doesn't travel with them because on Friday he's doing Friday Night SmackDown.
Yep.
So he's there showing up, just
he's probably got a private
strolling
plane
in.
too.
Are we sure that's not taped?
PJ.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, since it moved to Fox, I think SmackDown is live. But I think he said that he's going to drop doing the wrestling commentating for at least the moment. Because
Well, do it already. You know what I'm saying? Enough talk. Do it already.
I think he is. I think he's private planing it as well. I don't know if you noticed. This might drive only Whittingham crazy, but it's not something that I'm used to. Because Herb Street is doing 2 games, and I don't think people understand how hard it is to know who all the players on the field are. I was surprised to hear him doing Texas A&M and Miami and just calling out some numbers occasionally. And they had some suspensions too, but it requires work to be in the color booth. It's why most people aren't doing 2 or 3 games a week.
I mean, college football in terms of knowing names. You're basically in the span of 3 days trying to remember the names of 300 players.
It's like 30 kids that are playing.
Right, exactly.
This true freshman is not playing.
30 to 45 tops, right?
No one
each
told
team.
him he has to get paid $10 million by Amazon to do that game. I mean, he chose that.
Poor
enough.
Herbie.
Exactly.
Oh,
You take on too much, Dan, something's going to suffer.
I wasn't saying poor Herbie. I was
and
just
then you always have
noticing.
McAfee slither in.
Now that you bring it up, maybe adding McAfee is a way to take some of the load off Herbie's plate during game day because he's doing Thursday night and Saturday night.
Good
So
point.
What do you think, App State? Am I taking the load off Herbie? Huh?
Chris Cote, we have been negligent, and I didn't like our voting system. We've got a controversy in our voting system. I thought it was hard to vote. We have had, over the years, tens of thousands of votes, and we've always made the voting too complicated on where it is that our Suey winners can be celebrated. But we are remiss in waiting as long as we have to finally announce the winners after the tallying is in. What are the controversies? What are the interesting things here? Where do you think that some Suey nominees were robbed?
We got to decide as a group how we're going to handle this mysterious 500 votes that came in for our, like, the shipping container essentially winning a Suey. There's two winners here for best musical performance. It's either the shipping container, because we're going to count these weird 500 votes that just came out of nowhere at 1 a.m., or we're going to give the person that was in the lead before those 500 votes. And that's what we have to decide. I am in the camp of give it to the guy that was winning. And these are clearly, if you look at the chart, there's a spike at 1 a.m. after.
There's voting malfeasance.
Yes.
In an America where you can't trust the voting process, we're right now living amid a fake election.
But people are coming at me like I'm trying to fix it in our advantage. I'm literally saying right now I'm taking a Suey away from the shipping container because I don't think that it was fair based off of
who do you think is behind it?
I don't know.
Who,
See, that's
who has
the mystery.
anything to gain from this, Chris?
I think that there's so much drama amongst our listeners that I think that there was, I assume, the way I would assume, that there was a listener out there that didn't want Steve to win and didn't want the evidence of now my song's winning. So I'm just going to put it on the shipping container to make it seem.
So you're blaming one of the other non-LeBatard show people who created songs that were nominated.
I've heard I'm in a lot of group text, like way too many group texts about this. There's like, these people care a lot about this award. There's a lot of names that have been thrown. I've heard six or seven names.
Accusations.
Yes. Like there was one, because, the fan LeBatards are big Mike supporters, and Mike was not happy about it. So they some people think he did it. Some people thought Andrew Streeter, Yeti Blanc.
Well, hold on. Can we back up for a second? Because I just am learning about this for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the vote for best musical, and Steve was winning for his musical performance,
and
which was what?
It was a Song Stew.
Okay, so he was winning until the night before the vote tally was counted.
At 1 a.m. Well, we were going to end voting at Monday at 5 p.m., and mysteriously late Sunday night at 1 a.m. Monday morning, mysteriously
Russian bots,
because ours had gotten like 150 votes over 3 days, and then at 1 a.m. we went up to like 700 votes
all at once,
and it was just like,
wow, that is crazy. So you think someone somehow was able to rapidly vote for us for our musical performance, the shipping containers musical performance, like 500 times in a row?
I threw out the theory that maybe, let's say, Billy Joel's violinist was at a concert and was like, hey, I'm a big LeBatard Show fan. Let's all go vote for the shipping container. Everyone pull your phones out. Here's a barcode for the link. Like,
Billy
that could have happened.
Violinist.
I'm just saying.
Not Billy Joel, and not Billy Joel's like regular crew or band.
It was drummer.
It was the violinist.
You also have him grabbing the mic at a Billy
I'm
Joel
saying, like,
show. I doubt the violinist has a chance to do that.
No, in a lull in the concert.
To get 500 votes.
Just like, hey, I'm just saying, unless
500 people listen.
For us singing In the End by Linkin Park.
That's how we know it was the violinist.
That's how 500 votes could come in like a 10-second period. So other than cheating.
So the shipping container musical performance, that is now in first place.
Yeah, the punk. It was us singing songs to Roy.
Well, I wasn't there that day, so this doesn't benefit me in every way. So I think we can take me out of the running. I'm not involved in this.
I think we give it to Steve. I think we set a precedent for you do not get to buy votes here.
You closed voting on Monday
at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m.
No, I know.
Since then, a different song has taken, because the pulse is still there. The Big Game reprise from the Big Game musical surged to the top of the voting.
By how many votes?
Look, if we're gonna have any sort of decency here, we can't do that. Like I tweeted out that voting stopped at Monday at 5 p.m. well before the controversy even happened.
This is what I'm going to rule, and I am just going to delight that you gave us these as absolute choices. Either there was obvious cheating, or it was Billy Joel's violinist.
That's what I'm saying. I was texting the people that thought I was like, can you guys prove that didn't happen? And then I had Mark from Reddit telling me that Billy Joel's not on tour right now.
Mike Ryan is now thundered into the room.
Decency is an interesting word, Chris Cote. Decency.
Go ahead, throw your accusations. What do you think? I'm literally trying to take a Suey away from me.
You cannibalized the process by putting the Big Game as individual tracks. and made sure that the big game could not win this
You
award.
really want to go here? Because I texted you.
I know that I'm winning.
I literally, before the Suey's putting together, said, Mike, what do you think?
Don't you dare say that part.
I did. I was like, Mike, should it be one?
How dare you? Turn his mic off.
Chris, are you familiar with the show?
Hold
We're
on.
not going to
Hold on.
silence Chris
Hold on.
Cody.
Now, Chris,
How dare you?
Chris, I have a question for you.
Attacking my integrity.
Decency.
I have
You
a
had some beforehand?
Order.
I'd like to ask a question to Chris Cody, if I may. If you added up all the votes for all the Big Game songs, would Big Game be number one?
If you add up all their percentages, well, now
No,
I think
as of the Monday 5 p.m. cutoff.
It had because I think people knew I can't vote for just one because it won't. Like people were putting their votes.
Maybe we should have done ranked choice voting.
Yes.
This
That's
is
how
an
we win.
enormous controversy, and
It's just like, guys, come on. We're trying to do this Grammy campaign, and that's a strike against. I'm not even the most important musical thing that happened on this show.
you cannot win
That's
the
not a good
Suey.
look for me.
It's not a good
How am
look
I going
for
to
you.
beat Lin-Manuel Miranda if I can't beat Steve Arduini?
It's like we lost this. It's like we lost the SAG and we're trying to win the Oscar. It's like not gonna happen.
To be fair, Sue is a very catchy
It's
song.
derivative. This was original. I don't understand why this happened.
That's another thing. People are saying that we should have two categories: original stuff and parodies.
More categories.
People are like, I'm telling you, this is so important. That's why I feel like we should reward the listeners. This guy was in the lead. I'm willing to take away a Suey from the shipping container to set the standard for, hey, if there's a lot of votes that come out of nowhere, that's eliminated. You don't win.
I too don't think you should reward people who use bots to get ahead.
We cannot be the company that rewards voter fraud.
But what if it is Billy Joel's violinist, though?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to eliminate that.
I put the burden of proof on them. I'm like, if you can prove to me that didn't happen.
Has he ever even had a violinist?
Well, it could be any major group on tour.
Here's my 2 cents, Chris. I think we should do a vote amongst all of us on who wins this award, and then we should start issuing subpoenas and get to the bottom of it. Because there's a lot of people that I think we need to ask questions to under oath.
I've got a cleaner solution. Chris, put it on the poll.
Just give
Were the
it to me.
500 votes bots, or was it Billy Joel's violinist? And the winner of that poll will tell us.
Solution. I'm not asking for any integrity here. Just give it over.
I'm good to do we could put whatever musical song Mike wants, the Steve song, and our shipping container, the 3, and we could just do a revote with 3. We could do that.
Recount.
A runoff. Yes.
Steve is so upset right now.
We're giving credence to the fake bots and not accepting the winner at the deadline.
Me too.
Well, the winner at the deadline was.
Well, that's what.
Steve. Right. Yeah.
We're including the fake bots.
No,
in
the
that.
winner at the deadline was the shipping container. But I saw 6 hours previous they spiked up, so it should be.
This is tough.
I'd say we go with Steve. I think Steve wins.
If we go with the
anything
runoff,
but Steve.
if we go with the runoff, we're legitimizing the fake votes. That's what I'm trying to say.
I feel like everyone in this is emotional with it. I don't care. I literally am taking a Suey away from me.
How about a revote?
This is what I'm going to do. I am going to postpone. We are going to take this under deliberation. We are going to consider whether or not there should be a runoff. We will say that there is one from the categories that we're going to announce right now. All of the winners, we're going to remove Best Musical out. We're going to take it out for the moment, and we're going to play the winners now and reconvene to see if we can figure this out. I can't believe that you guys have fouled this up this way. I can't believe that we don't know how to do voting correctly.
It's because people care so much. That's the real thing about this is this musical Suey means a lot to these people, so much that they will cheat.
So we need to get it right. We need to do right by our audience and get this right. We don't want them to lose faith in us and in the process and in the Sueys themselves.
By doing a revote, we are rewarding.
I'm not making a
I agree with
decision.
you.
I'm not making that decision now. I'm just putting it off to the side until we can further deliberate this. We are going to figure out what is right here. What is not right is Mike Ryan coming in here and winning. That is not right. That is not something that anyone wants.
I think the Big Game Reprise deserves to make the final vote. It's currently top of the polling.
But it was all at 5 p.m. Dude, I'm telling you.
Top of the
but
polling.
at 5 p.m., it was like 3%. All the songs had like 3%.
All that matters is Monday 5 p.m. Sorry. Anything after that is irrelevant.
This Suey scandal, honestly, would make a great musical. Someone should write a song about it.
Is there anything else here that's controversial, Chris Cote, from among our winners? Anything else that was robbed? Any close voting that was of note?
I would say mistake was I just pointed in here, so people listening don't know the reveal I just made. But there was a close vote for mistake, and we have someone I believe they never won a Suey before, but I believe they did. So should I reveal it?
Well, you pointed at Chris Whittingham.
Yeah, it's Chris Whittingham.
Section?
Yeah.
It's no, that was uncomfortable. That was an uncomfortable moment.
Congratulations, Witty.
His mistake was not knowing what he's reading when he reads Urban Dictionary. That won by a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think what it won over, but good contribution by me again.
Yes, and let's just
petering out here.
Stumble into
All my lips are smiling.
Let's stumble into the Suey winners.